the hits just keep on coming from ESPN. And I'm not talking about the musical hits. I'm not talking about the classic songs like If You Had My Woke Love by Jennifer Lopez featuring Max Kellerman, or Hit My Bongo One More Time, Britney Spears featuring Kendrick Perkins, or my personal favorite, Fantasy by Mariah Carey and Mina Kimes. The classic little ditty about a young Mina Kimes fantasizing about becoming an NFL analyst, realizing that she was wholly unqualified, but obtaining the job by playing on sympathy and her willingness to speak in the preferred language at ESPN. Woke boner words. No. We are not talking about the classics today. We are talking about the damaging hits. Yesterday, I told you guys about the massive layoffs coming at the worldwide leader in woke. They're going to be starting early next week. According to the New York Post, and to the surprise of no one, normal people will be the first to lose their jobs at ESPN. Once they have eradicated all common sense, ESPN will focus their efforts on firing the shitfucks that provide the least amount of value. Now, if Jimmy Pitaro needs some assistance here, I can make a couple of suggestions. Why don't you start with Bomani Jones? Outside of the comedic relief he provides from being a huge embarrassing failure, the Bobo serves absolutely no purpose. At least Katie Nolan was able to keep the potted ficus alive by converting oxygen to carbon dioxide. Methane is the only gas escaping the mouth of Bomani Jones, which causes the ficus to bury itself. Mina Kimes, useless. Kendrick Perkins, Father Jalen Rose, Max Kellerman, Sarah Spain. I mean, Jesus Christ! ESPN, they should just fire everyone. To hell with having a layoff, just shut the network down. It's okay. I won't be mad about it. I have predicted that ESPN would cease to exist by 2030. I will not be upset if that prediction comes to fruition 7 years early. One-name executives at ESPN will not have to worry about in the coming layoffs is Charly Arnolt. Once I share this clip with you guys, you will understand why Charly didn't fit in well at ESPN. The top tithers at Woke United Methodist, they are not used to a woman of this caliber. ESPN, they don't like to promote normal women. They prefer the love of a woke woman. Leah Thomas, Rachel Levine. You guys remember when ESPN was in love with Beetlejuice, the fairy godmother of Rachel Richardson? I love me a woman who enjoys the roasted beetle. Just to give you a little bit of background information here, Charly Arnolt started her career with WWE. Back in 2018, while still under contract with Vince McMahon, she started working part-time at ESPN. 2 years ago, she left WWE to pursue opportunities with ESPN full-time. This was where her woke you education began. When Molly Qerim was going through PTSD from having Stephen A. Smith complimenting her on her appearance, Charly Arnolt filled her position on Woke Take. As you guys know, Stephen A., he is one of the leading professors at Woke U. Charly, she learned all the important things like the devastating impacts of mythical racism, how those damn misogynists were evil for saying Will Thomas should be swimming against men. When she wasn't filling in for the rarely jolly Molly, she worked alongside Elle Duncan on a podcast that no one listens to. Charly served as a shoulder to cry on as Elle Duncan grieved for weeks after the overturning of Roe v. Wade. Charly Arnolt, she is one of the rare success stories coming out of ESPN. Seriously, I'm being serious. This is rare. She is proof that the old saying is true. You can take the girl out of the normal world, but you can't take the normal out of the girl. After 2 years of being surrounded by the filth at ESPN, Charly Arnolt decided, enough of this bullshit. I have got to surround myself with normal people. I am tired of waiting in line at the bathroom, waiting on Stephen A. to finish applying his makeup. I am tired of walking into the ladies' room and seeing Leah Thomas grease her propeller. Charly Arnolt, she missed the days when the girls could go to the restroom together and not have to worry about Rachel Levine shaving her beard in the sink. Earlier this morning, she announced that she was leaving ESPN to join Outkick. She went on Fox News to make this announcement. Fox bought Outkick a couple of years ago. They talked about the adventures of Tran Dan, but it was her comments about ESPN specifically which caught my attention. Several years ago, ESPN president Jimmy Pitaro, he issued a directive to all employees saying, "No more politics. We are the worldwide leader in sports. No one cares about your opinion of Hillary Clinton. No one wants to hear Jalen Rose complain about being forced to use the bathroom with the gender he was born as. People watch ESPN to get unentertaining and often incorrect analysis of the NFL and NBA." The problem was, this directive, it only applied to certain employees at ESPN. If Kendrick Perkins wanted to make false claims about the NBA favoring white players, that was okay. Not only was it okay, Kendrick Perkins, he would be featured in more prominent roles if he agreed to promote this garbage. Sage Steele says that she is uncomfortable handling the Fauci lizard. She's suspended for a week and silenced for the remainder of her contract. This morning on Fox News, Charly Arnolt, she called out ESPN for their bullshit. She also admitted that she was uncomfortable at the network staying true to herself. She didn't feel like she could be real, which is understandable because she was surrounded by so much fake. Watch for yourself.
ESPN has been very adamant about keeping politics out of their programming, yet you just saw late last month they did a whole tribute during Women's Month for Leah Thomas. So therefore, it doesn't exactly seem like they are keeping politics completely out of the mix.
So you're here now.
Yes.
Why'd you leave ESPN?
You know, I'm a very opinionated person. I always have been. That's something I really love about myself. And I just felt like at ESPN, I was a little bit stifled. There was a lot of conversations and issues that have really just permeated the world of sports and really just society in general that I was not able to speak up about. And it made me very uncomfortable because I felt like I wasn't being true to myself.
Are you starting to understand now why I said Charly Arnolt didn't fit in at ESPN? ESPN, they promote a lot of scary woke women, but they do have some beautiful women at the network. Mina Kimes, Molly Karam, but those women are beauty with woke brains. They allow themselves to be used to promote the plight of the victim. Charly Arnolt is the complete opposite. She refuses to be the victim, and she refuses to promote the bullshit. You heard her say what we have known all along. If you're a normal person, there is no place for you at ESPN. Stephen A. Smith, he has insinuated this same narrative publicly. If you don't fall in line with the groupthink, you will not be collecting woke welfare for long at ESPN. Me personally, I don't want any political involvement in sports. I don't watch the NBA to be lectured on mythical racism. I don't watch the NFL to see Colin Kaepernick assume the position of fellatio, then pretend that he is the ultimate victim when he gets blackballed from the league. I don't watch women swimming, period. But if I were to watch women swimming, I expect to see women in bathing suits. I don't tune in expecting to see a 6'1" grown man with a gigantic propeller motoring up and down the pool. And I don't watch ESPN to hear Jalen Rose tell me how wrong it is to reference Mount Rushmore. The reality is, we are well past the point where wishing politics were not involved in sports would make things go away and go back to normal. Once something is infected with politics, there is no removing it. It's similar to the woke fungus. Actually, in this case, it is the woke fungus. But it would be different if ESPN were talking about political and social issues and they gave us both sides of the argument. It would be different if they had Kendrick Perkins on one side accusing the NBA of mythical racism, and you had Charly Arnolt on the other side accusing Kendrick Perkins of being a certified dumbass. ESPN, they give viewers both sides and let the viewers decide for themselves. But ESPN's never going to do that. Why? Because they know there is no defending their side of the argument. There's a reason Clay Travis is banned from appearing on ESPN. There's a reason Stephen A. Smith can go on Fox News, but Tucker Carlson will never be allowed to appear on ESPN. They do not want you hearing the truth. The truth is the kryptonite to the entire woke movement, which is why they work tirelessly to erase our history and demonize anyone willing to speak the truth. Just look at what they're doing to Sage Steele right now. I guarantee you, Sam Ponder is part of these layoffs at ESPN. Now, I hope I'm wrong. I don't want to see her lose her job. I hate to see anyone lose their job, but I don't think it's a coincidence. These layoffs at ESPN start next week, and Sam Ponder suddenly has the courage to speak out. Let me show you how ridiculous the woke movement is. The wanker spankers, they claim to defend women's rights while also fighting for the rights of men to invade women's sports. I have finally figured out why. They have been too busy fighting for gender equity in a more important area. Peter Buttigieg has been fighting hard for gender equity in the automobile industry. Oh yeah, Petey is fighting the good fight. Earlier today in Congress, some unknown woman was praising Peter for his efforts. Watch it for yourself.
You also plan to make important investments to address the roadway safety crisis, including the critical funding that would accelerate the development, and this is an area I've written to you about, of the use of female dummies in crash testing. This will start to fight the gender inequity among vehicle safety and crash victims.
So we're not fighting for gender equity when it comes to real women, but we will waste government resources fighting for gender equity among crash test dummies? What in the fuck is going on here? And why does a sitting member of Congress have purple hair? Is she trying to emulate Megan Rapinoe? If my girlfriend's teenage daughter came home with purple hair, I'd understand. Wouldn't necessarily like it, but I would understand. When I see grandma with purple hair, it's time to grow up. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised. That is your typical woke woman. But give me your thoughts. Charly Arnolt leaves ESPN for Outkick and throws the network under the bus on her way out. We're finally starting to see more and more women come out and support Riley Gaines. Sage Steele, Sam Ponder, Charly Arnolt. A couple of months ago, we had that surfer chick speak out against transgender involvement in female sports. Do you think this is becoming normal? Do you think it's becoming a trend? Do you think normal people have finally had enough and we're going to see more of them start speaking out? You let me know. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.